Yay!
Yay!
Recording!
We're back, everybody.
And we're so back.
We're back. Wait, we'll do the welcome. Sorry.
Welcome to Two Black Girls, One Rose.
Where two black-ass girls invade the whitest show on earth. The Bachelorette. I'm Natasha.
And I'm Justine.
And Justine and I are back from New Orleans. And we're fat as fuck.
Yo, let me tell you, I had to roll into my house. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. So we apologize everybody for being a day late on the episode. But Justine and I went on our annual girls trip to New Orleans, which is very fitting because the movie Girls Trip takes place in New Orleans, which we've been doing this trip for 5 years, but now that the movie was filmed there, it's like a thing now, like Girls Trip in New Orleans. So we're back. We are huge. New Orleans is hands down my favorite city in America outside of New York. Because of the food. Justine and I are very passionate about food and eating. Yep. And so New Orleans is just like a must for us every year. The food is amazing. The music is amazing. We had a bomb-ass time. Shout out to all of our New Orleans listeners, if we have any.
Yeah. Everybody in Louisiana, really.
True. Truly.
All of you guys.
Everybody. So anyways, we're back. Watched the episode. Hometowns just went down. I'm forewarning you guys, this is going to be a long episode. We already know.
We have a lot of announcements.
Yeah, before we even get to the recap, we have a lot of stuff to get into. But we do have a juicy recap for you guys. But first off, let's start off as we always do. What were your initial thoughts, Justine, of Hometowns this season?
Okay, first initial thought is that Jason is my candidate for The Bachelor. Because I know he ain't gonna win.
Bachelor. He definitely ain't gonna win.
Every time I see him, I want more and more of his personality. I may be a little bit kind of jaded a little bit, or my opinion of him changed because of his outlook on his brother's relationship.
Yes, Okay,
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I loved that.
There was a look of ethereal joy on Natasha's face just now. So that is, I would really love to see that personally, and I feel like he'd be into black girls, as we said before. I feel like he would.
We said what before? I don't remember saying that.
Well, not that he would be into black girls, but that he wouldn't be like the type to say, absolutely not, I would never date a black woman. Ari had like 65 women of color on his season.
Yeah, was that his choosing, or they were trying to be, they just followed up with Rachel, so they knew what they had to do.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna love Jason. Don't know about your theory on it being full of black women, but I would totally watch a Jason as Bachelor season, since Will's ain't gonna be it. So
yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
What's next?
And then also it's getting really difficult for me to pick a Becca UI moment.
Me too, girl.
Yeah, she is getting further and further away from someone who I would be friends with as this goes on.
Ooh,
yeah,
wait.
Sorry, girl.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, we'll get to it. I didn't have a Becca UI moment.
Me either, and I didn't have one last week either. So sorry.
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying, and that she is, I don't know, she's just looking real basic to me lately.
Hello?
Yeah. I don't know, I don't have too much terrible things to say about her. I mean, I do side-eye her when it comes to Garrett, but yeah, I don't know. She ain't all that, so she ain't all that in a bag of chips.
Nope.
Are those your thoughts?
That's it, yep.
That's it. All right. For me, initial thoughts, all of these families looked the same to me.
All of them.
I had to think back. So Ari's season, we had hometowns, Lauren B, Becca, Kendall, and Tia. All four families were very distinctly different.
Yeah, yes.
In the way they looked, the way they interacted with Ari. It was like 4 different homes. This time around, I can't... There were no, like, big standout characters, or there wasn't much, like, distinctness between a lot of the families. Nope. They all seem to be nice families.
Yep.
Raised some nice, young men. They all seem to have a good relationship with their mothers and their father. Like, everything kind of seemed all hunky-dory, that there was no outliers or no, I don't know, like Kendall. Remember Kendall had her twin?
That's what I was thinking of. I was like, I wish we had a sibling like her sister.
Right, or like Rachel season. Rachel had her sister and her husband, and they always came with the hard questions. Like, I didn't really get too much of that. So the family's all kind of blended in one for me. I don't know. So that was my first initial thought. Second thought. So she's in love with Blake. So why are we here?
What are we doing?
What's occurring still? What are we watching here? We all know for sure that Jason has no chance.
Literally none.
None. So it's almost sadistic seeing him being put through this, because it's gonna come down to Blake and Garrett. More on Blake. I love the shit out of Blake even more and more. Yeah. Just with every passing moment. He almost seems too good to be true.
Hello?
Like, I'm just waiting for, and I'm praying to God this doesn't happen, but I'm just waiting for somebody on the internet to find something of him just being straight trash.
Yep. Yep.
And showing his ass, or some old photo of him doing something offensive. I'm just like, please, I don't want my vision of Blake to change.
I know.
But he's coming out looking squeaky clean, even after this hometown. And still love him to death. And so those are my initial thoughts.
Cool.
But as always, before we get to the recap, we have some business to attend to. First and foremost, you guys, we have a contest that's running.
Woo!
Hello. I've seen a lot of people entering, which is very exciting. We are doing a contest where we'll choose one lucky reviewer to call into the podcast, kiki with us a little bit, and share with everybody your moments. Your Becca Yo Aight moment, Get Me to Wakanda moment, Nigga You Ain't Shit award. So how this works, this is Thursday, if you're listening to this episode. So today is the deadline, basically. So you have until Thursday, July 19th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to run on over to iTunes and rate us and review us. Write us a review. Or, for those of you who aren't on iTunes, you can leave us a review on our Facebook page. So you have until today, 5 p.m., to go on and do that. And then sometime tonight, we don't have a time yet, but sometime Thursday night, Justine and I will choose one lucky reviewer, and we will announce that person's username on our Twitter and our Facebook. So if you aren't following us on Twitter, our handle is the number 2 BLK Girls, the number 1 Rose. And Facebook, just search 2 Black Girls 1 Rose on Facebook, and we'll be announcing the winner there. So here's the thing. We're going to use the honor code system here. Yeah. So we're going to put out the username. If that's you, hit us up. If we get 5 emails from y'all talking about that's me, we just going to choose somebody else. I ain't got time for this.
Yeah, nope.
So if that's you, claim yourself, come forward, and we want you to send us an email with your name and your phone number. And please do that by Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, send us an email with your name and phone number, claiming to be the username that we chose, and we will send you an email back with all the logistical stuff and have you come onto our show on Monday.
And our email, just in case, is the number 2 Black Girls, the number 1 Rose at gmail.com.
Great. Hopefully that was clear.
Yes.
Okay, because I know I was talking all over the place, but hopefully that's
we
clear.
can put it in the description, too, of the episode.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. We do, as always, have some church announcements. Yay! Whip out your program. It was a good week of church announcements.
It was. You guys were really, really responsive to our last
emails.
Episode. And every time we do a call out of like, somebody email us and tell us this, I'm always shocked when people actually do it.
Oh yeah, they'll send us exactly what we asked for and give us a whole play-by-play origin story.
Yep.
Their mom's perspective, like a whole thing. I really love it.
Yep. So first shout out to Dana. She is a listener who also has a blog, and she wrote about us on her blog, realitytvphd.com. So everybody check out Dana's blog. She sent us a really sweet email. Lauren and Tony just sent us over some love this week, so thank you, Lauren and Tony. That was great.
Thanks, guys.
Brianna also sent us an email, and Brianna is in law school, so I can't believe she even has the time to, 1, listen to this, 2, send us an email, and 3, watch The Bachelor as intensely as she does, because she sent us a good, long, juicy one. So thank you, Brianna. Yes. She also told us about our Reddit, ranking on a thread.
Yeah. Justine and I have no idea how Reddit works. Yep. Clearly there's a humongous Bachelor fan base and whole thing going on Reddit. Mm-hmm. we have no clue what the hell this is. But yeah, apparently people are talking about us on the Reddit. So if you're on Reddit, keep doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I know that for myself, I'm not going to speak for Natasha, but on the verge. Myself, I'm on the verge of washed. I'm on the cusp. So
of washed. The old washed lady.
Of auntie, washed. So I was like, Reddit, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to find it. But thank you, Brianna, for sending that over. And then we had quite a few emails answering our question from last week about white privilege and dating. So we had Lizzie, who emailed us, who dated a guy for a couple of months and then found out that he was a Trumpster, and she described herself as a crazy communist prison abolitionist, which is my kind of girl.
Right on.
Yep.
Love you, Leslie.
So thanks, Lizzie, for your email and your perspective. And then Amali, hopefully it's how you say your name, dated a Looney Tune. They were dating within the restaurant. It seemed a little Vanderpump Rule-ish.
Which I totally co-sign, because that was one of my favorite shows in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Do you, Emily?
So shout out to you for letting that go and not dating him any longer. Both of these young ladies broke up around Election Day. Mm-hmm. The worst day that we've had. Whew, man, this Dorito is ruining everybody's life. Literally ruining everybody's life.
This Dorito. Oh my God. Refuse to say his name.
No.
We just call him every other thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying anything. And then we had an email from Elizabeth, who is married to a Republican of Mexican descent, which I know that I found very interesting, her email. And know people whose parents are Republican and Democratic. None of them are people of color, though. So this was interesting to see an interracial relationship where there's two different parties going on. What did you think, friend, about Elizabeth's email?
So yes, I put out I think it was me who put out the call out last week, where I was like, somebody explain to me, how does one, if you are a liberal or Democrat or someone who's very social justice oriented, how does one fall in love with someone who identifies as Republican or conservative or anti everything that you stand for, basically? And so I really appreciated Elizabeth's email, because this is a solid relationship. She has a husband,
right?
For 5
yes,
full on years.
Yep.
And really gave her perspective. I still have questions though, because she gave her perspective about how her husband, they started dating before pre-Trump Republican craziness. This is
right.
back when the Republican Party sucked, but not as much as they do now.
Yeah, right.
And her husband seems to kind of toe the line between independence. She said that he, is pro-choice, pro-gay marriage, but he identifies as fiscally conservative. That's same foolishness. That's fiscally conservative, socially liberal.
Yeah.
It was the quote-unquote nice Republicans that love to call themselves fiscally conservative, socially liberal.
Oh.
Which to me makes no damn sense. Because, sorry, I have to just mention this. Fiscally conservative they're usually for like overspending on the military, cutting taxes for the rich, cutting funding to everything that benefits anybody who's poor. Yet they call themselves socially liberal, which they just don't make sense to me. That doesn't go hand in hand.
Right.
You can't cut programs for poor people and then talk about you want to help them at the same time.
Right.
That don't make no damn sense.
Right.
So that's just a side note. But she kind of walked us through how she, was very open-minded going into this relationship with this man, and how as their relationship progressed, she said that they decided like they couldn't compromise who they were in order to be together and love each other and whatnot. My question still is, how do you get to the love? I think with Elizabeth, her husband is a little bit different because he isn't so like staunchly Republican and conservative in some of his beliefs. I can see how she's able to like agree to disagree on like military spending or something like that.
Absolutely, especially because his dad was in the military and stuff like that, so he's personal connection.
So you kind of see where it like comes from or whatnot. But for someone like Garrett, someone who is like seems so anti some of the things that Becky stood for, which I'm assuming women's rights, LGBT rights, immigration. I mean, she was very anti-Trump allegedly on social media, so a lot of those things. How do you love someone who is so opposite you in those ways when it comes to those social justice, political beliefs? So I still have questions. I really appreciate, Elizabeth, your email. And seems like she turned her husband to the light side. Yeah. My dude is voting Democrat in the California primary, she was saying, and he's now a registered independent, not a Republican. So you did something right, but yeah, I just still have questions on that. I guess I'm still searching for the answers. Anybody out there who is a staunch liberal who's married to a staunch, MAGA hat wearing person? I don't even know if this exists.
I don't know either.
If maybe that's asking too much, but I'm still trying to figure out, how does one get to that love? How do you develop the love with somebody who is so opposite you in so many ways as it relates to value systems and things?
And I think that with Elizabeth's email, the key thing is that both of them were open-minded. So,
because I think as liberals in general, we are more open-minded than conservatives in my belief. And her husband, he already, with some of his belief systems, with being pro-choice, pro-gay marriage, already had a bit of it in him. So even if he identified or registered Republican, he still kind of toed the line, it seemed like. So that's why it's, it seemed easier to kind of pull him over to her side. But for the ones who aren't so easily pulled and a little bit more closed-minded in their conservative values, how does one fall in love with that? Right. I guess is where my question still lies.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they're out there.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. But thank you, Elizabeth, for your perspective. Really interesting to read.
So we have Brittany, who gave us some really cool perspectives on Richmond, Virginia. So thank you, Brittany. And then Zakia emailed us. She is a frequent listener, and she's emailed us before, but she had some interesting things to say about Becca and her white privilege. Also, Colton and his virgin story. I'm doing air quotes. Virgin story.
So yes, I wanted to talk about this because we ourselves in the last episode were kind of like, what is this story that Colton is sharing with us about? Yeah. Not even just the virgin part, but the fact that he's never dated much, but yeah, he's an NFL player and he's fucking banging. Like, how does that happen? And Zakia wasn't buying it either, and neither was my sister, who shared a very interesting theory with me on why potentially Colton might be a virgin. So tell me what you think about this.
Okay, I'm excited to hear this.
So my sister thinks that perhaps Colton is a virgin because maybe he has some anatomical issues.
That's exactly what I think is going on here.
Okay. I don't know if this is, I don't want to man shame.
No.
Or what do you call this? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Genital shame? I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's something going on downstairs that he's ashamed about or not proud of, or something anatomically incorrect. I don't know. And maybe that could be the true underlying reason of why he has been so hesitant with having sex. I don't know, because it just seems so odd to most people that someone this good looking can just choose to be a virgin.
And he's not doing it for marriage. He's not Tim Tebowing out here. He's doing it like because he hasn't found the one. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
But it could. What if he hasn't met the one? Maybe Colton is a...
No, that is foolish. My only thing with your sister's theory that is also secretly my theory, and I'm glad she brought it up. Thank you, Jessica. Shout out to you. Is that it's 2018 and he has money. So I don't really understand. I think that at this point, everything that we can do externally to our bodies, we can fix. And so, and Colorado has good healthcare. I think that he can fix it. That's my only gripe. But I do think that's what's going on. So
that there is something maybe anatomically, I don't want to say incorrect, but
no, just something that's not functioning the way that it normally would,
or doesn't look the way women might want
girl.
it to look. Hint.
Oh my God, my pen just flew off the table. Woo. Woo. But even that we can fix. It is 2018. Yeah. We can,
They got surgeries for everything.
They sure do.
Yeah. So that's the theory that's floating around. I don't know if I believe it. I think there definitely is validity to it. I do want to believe that unicorns like Colton exist. Just good men who just, they're out here just trying to find the right woman. That's why they're holding on to their V card. A lot of women do it too.
Yes.
So why can't men as well?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if that's the true thing, but okay.
We'll see you on Paradise, Colton.
We'll see what turns up in Paradise. Yeah. And that's it for church announcements, right?
Yep, that's it.
All right. We do have some Bachelor Nation news. Yeah. First, quickly, Bachelor in Paradise teaser was released. It's a little 30-second just hodgepodge of just very fast clips. You can't even really make out much of what's happening. You do see a lot of Crystal being Crystal and Jordan being Jordan.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest takeaway, I guess, from the teaser. So I guess we have to wait until a full trailer comes out.
Yeah.
Did they release one?
No, I didn't see one, but they did show a 30 seconds of Jordan promo.
Oh God.
Which
what?
I don't know why that's the appeal.
He got a whole promo just about him for 30 seconds?
Yeah, they were like, oh, Jordan's coming back. Here's 30 seconds of Jordan being Jordan.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I have no interest in seeing
because
that.
who cares?
Yeah.
So yeah, just I'm excited for the real good stuff.
Yeah. I am excited for Paradise, but that teaser didn't really do it for me. So that was the first piece of Bachelor news. Second thing that some more serious stuff we got to get into. About Colton. Back to Colton. So there was some drama this past week between Colton and Wendy Williams. Just not the beef one would expect, but there was a little beef going on between Colton and Miss Wendy.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of tweets, DMs, people sending us emails like, did you see this? Did you see this? Whatnot. So we definitely want to address it. So Colton put out a tweet that it's very interesting because the way he wrote it can be interpreted in two polar opposite ways. The way that most people were reading the text the tweet is that it had very strong racial undertones, deeply problematic and offensive. And the other way that it can be read, and this honestly is the way that I read it initially, is that I didn't see the offense in it initially. And actually when I read it, I'm like, right on. I'm right here with you.
Yep.
And the distinction, the reason why this tweet is so interesting and why people really need to pay attention to what the hell they put out there, and you have to be very crafty with how you word things, is because the reason why there's this discrepancy between the way people are reading this really comes down to, and I'm getting this is a grammar class right now, really comes down to how you interpreted who the subject noun was in the
Come on, Ivy. Come on, Ivy League. Break down that sentence. Yes, let's do it.
So, yes. So basically, Wendy Williams, I don't know if on her show or she in a tweet promoting the show or a Bachelor or whatever, she put out a thing like, you know, we learned some surprising baggage a contestant on The Bachelor has. He's a virgin. And a big old picture of Colton's face. So he was like, what the fuck? What is my baggage?
Right, yeah.
And then he didn't stop there. Nope. He sent out another tweet where he said, quote, "The double standards in today's society. It's okay if you don't agree with my personal choices, but some of your talk shows take it too far. Quote, don't trust a virgin, but you'll trust your 3 baby daddies who cheat on you every weekend. Okay?" And it's like the little emoji.
Kanye shrug.
Like, talking shrug. So, how did you read it? Tell me your interpretation. And this is the interpretation of most people, it seems.
So, as Natasha said before, when I first read it, I didn't know it was about Wendy Williams. So I first read it and I said, you know what? Where's the lie? I can't find one. And then learned that it was not necessarily this is about Wendy Williams, but there are some theories that Natasha and I had when we discussed it. If he is talking about this and he did not watch the rest of the Wendy show or is not an avid watcher of the Wendy show, who knows? He's retired. Maybe he has time to sit there and watch Wendy at 10 o'clock. Then this has serious racist undertones because he would not say, but you'll trust your 3 baby daddies who cheat on you every weekend, okay, to Megyn Kelly, Kathy Lee, to any of those other white women. And that's why it has racist undertones to it, because he's switching up his language. If he watched the rest of that episode, there is a high likelihood that a young lady asked Wendy for advice talking about her baby daddy who cheats on her. There is a high likelihood of that. And I hate to defend Wendy because she's just gone all the way down the mess hole for a long time now, but I just read that and definitely got the heebie-jeebies of like, ooh, it's racism.
Okay. So when I read it, when I talk about the subject noun of that of that sentence, when he says don't trust a virgin, but you'll trust your 3 baby daddies, you can see it as him talking directly to Wendy. Like, you're saying don't trust a virgin, but you'll trust your 3 baby daddies. And people are like, she doesn't even have 3 baby daddies. How can you say that to her? Like, that's how a lot of people are reading it. I was still thinking he was talking about the talk shows. Like, the, quote, talk shows that he mentioned in the previous sentence.
So all like, talk show, like E.T., all the talk shows.
No, her talk show, but not her directly.
Oh.
So when he says, you know, it's okay if you don't agree with my personal choices, but some of your talk shows take it too far. Don't trust a virgin talk show, but you'll trust your 3 baby daddies. You know, you're having a talk show on that. Like, I didn't read it as Wendy, you'll trust your 3 baby daddies.
Right.
I read it as when he said don't trust 3 baby daddies, he's talking about a talk show segment or something. Right. So that's just initially how I read it and was like, as you said, I see no lies here.
I mean,
hello, she do have some kind of questionable subject topics on her on her show. But it did honestly take you and I think we had a Twitter follower who kind of like pointed it out, and I was like, okay, absolutely. I can see 100% the racial undertones. As you said, why would you say baby daddy? You only gonna say that to a black woman, you ain't gonna say that to nobody else.
Right.
And so that's where the kind of like murkiness comes in, and how the tweet can be interpreted in like so many different ways.
So many ways. Even if he watched the rest of the celebrity segment and she was talking about Evelyn Lozada or something, and and Wendy was talking about trusting her 2 baby daddies. Like, I mean, there's so many different ways. to interpret it. It's just too much. Colton, there's 280 characters now, babe. You could do whatever you want. Why did you do this?
Be responsible. And so, can I get on my soapbox real quick?
Let's do it.
Let me get on real quick. And I'm doing this because I believe strongly when you have a platform, which this podcast is now a platform. We have tons of people that listen every week. I believe you do have to use it to educate. And I know a lot of our listeners, we do have some white listeners there. One of which might be Becky, this one listener who literally, her name was Becky. And we haven't talked about this on the show, but she was our first hate mail.
Woo! I'm putting the clapping in here. I can't believe we got hate mail, guys. I was excited, low-key.
And this was from a few weeks ago when we were talking about some Garrett mess. But we did receive some hate mail from a conservative listener who just felt the need to send us this long-ass email talking about how we preach hate against conservatives and whatever the other bullshit she was saying. And she definitely got a piece of my mind in an email that I sent her back. But anyways, what I want to say, despite how you read Colton's tweet, and I'm more on the minority of people who read the tweet probably in the way that Colton intended it to be.
Yep.
But regardless of how you read it, this brings up a very interesting conversation of intention versus impact that we need to talk about. Well-intentioned white people sometimes say the most insensitive and offensive shit, and then afterwards are like, that wasn't my intention though. I'm not racist, I'm a liberal, like that wasn't my intention. First of all, no one's calling, at least I'm not calling Colton racist.
No, me either.
So no one's saying that here, at least I'm not. Second of all, to Colton and all the well-intentioned white people that are out there, no one gives a shit about your intention. Because the fact of the matter is, right now, people are offended. And so whatever it is that you said made people feel a certain way. And so the focus needs to be less on your intention and more on the impact of what is now occurring because of what you said, not because of your nebulous intention. And so in these cases, in the Colton cases, where hopefully this is a lesson learned for him, to one, not be tweeting out mess before you read through what the hell you're saying. But two, okay, now you've ended up in this situation. What you need to do is acknowledge and understand what you said and how it can be offensive to people, apologize, and then move forward. Learn to do better. I also want to say, so that's just, if you've ever done like social justice, sociology 101, you've probably heard of the intention versus impact kind of like conversation. So if you're interested in that, keep reading on that. Or continue to self-educate.
Or if you've ever been in any sort of relationship with a man who is emotionally manipulative, and he comes to you with some foolishness and then says, oh, sorry you were hurt by that, or when they want some ass later. And you are forced to really break down your feelings and you still are feeling invalid in those feelings. This is a very parallel kind of situation. When people say that they're sorry that they hurt you and don't know why, they're trying to manipulate you to be on their side.
Right.
So we just need to skip over all of that and just everybody learn why you hurt someone else.
Right, and fuck your intention on whether you intended to hurt them or whatnot. The issue is that they're hurt now.
Right.
And so let's talk about the impact of your words and the impact of what you do to people.
Yeah.
And so that's the one thing I wanted to say.
Yep.
Another thing I wanted to say was I had to really think about all of this. So, like, I personally am not in the business of, like, analyzing and policing every word that comes out of a white man's mouth, because if I did that, I wouldn't trust white men anymore. So, because I could find a racial undertone in just about anything. And so this for me was like, I have to pick and choose my battles as to what I find offense in and what not. This wasn't a battle that I chose, but I 100% see, and now rereading the tweet, how it is very problematic. And Colton deserves all of the side-eye that he's been getting this whole damn week by women. And I just wanted to put that out there. Because I think it's important for us to, I guess this is my way of self-care.
Oh, wow.
Because if not, I will hate everybody.
Yeah, you'll hate
in this
everyone.
world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just gotta pick and choose a battle. This was a battle I didn't choose. But I 100% am right there in arms with the rest of y'all who chose this, and I'm ready to, let's talk about intention versus impact, Mr. Colton, and, you know, move forward from there. That's my soapbox. That's all I have to say.
Wow. Those are 2 great points, friend. I'm glad we went over them.
I'm glad to.
Yeah.
Let's exit out of Sociology 101.
Yeah, let's
now move into the recap.
go into reality TV. This is too much.
God. But you see what they're doing. See, The Bachelor.
I know.
Again, The Bachelor is like a little frou-frou show. You know, you have fun, kiki, giggle, you watch. No, because it's 2018, and now we're privy to these people through social media.
Yeah.
We're privy to who they are outside of what we just see on the TV. So now they give us a lot more commentary to discuss. And so I think that's what makes the show even more interesting now.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Yeah, agreed.
Agreed. All right, let's finally get into the
hometowns.
Thanks for hanging in there with us, guys. We should probably
should we timestamp?
Put the timestamp.
Yeah.
So for those of us who don't give a shit about any of this, but so it's hometowns, and first up is Garrett.
Ugh.
Where does Garrett live? Because I didn't even catch it.
Oh, no one cares. I don't know. Illinois, Nevada? I don't know. Girl, South Dakota?
Nevada. Yes. He's
Nevada.
from Nevada.
Okay.
Somewhere out in, like, the rural area, I think.
Yeah.
So he's the first hometown up. Becca is sporting her cute little purple romper.
I feel like I've seen that before.
Not on the show, but, like, on
Instagram or
Facebook
something.
Ads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I saw that and I was like, girl, 100%. Are we repeating now? First we went to Richmond, now we're repeating outfits. Like, what's going on?
So she is in her little romper, walking through the cornfields, gonna go meet her. She's talking about she's very excited to meet all the guys and very excited for Garrett's hometown. So we meet Garrett. We learn that his family owns an agricultural business. And so for their date, they're going to be planting tomatoes. Planting tomatoes alongside Carlos. I'm gonna claim it as my man Carlos because I know right here Garrett is fucking with him on TV.
Yep.
But on the low ski, he probably has a lot to say about Carlos and people of Carlos's quote unquote kind.
Yeah.
But anyways, they are planting tomatoes with Carlos. I guess his family runs a tomato farm and whatnot. And Garrett is just grinning from ear to ear, east to west.
Which you know I can't stand. You know I am dying inside. Oh my God. I was sitting there looking at her like, are you going to eat her head? Like, ugh.
Big ass smile. So funny because you hate the shit out of the smile. I hate the shit out of Garrett, but I like his smile.
Yeah.
I can't lie. So anyways, after they plant their tomatoes and whatnot, they sit down to have a chat. And Becca once again has questions about this 2-month wife. Because she keeps bringing it up. She's not getting the answers.
Yeah.
Neither are the rest of us at home. Because what does Garrett do? He does the same thing he's done whenever she brings up this girl. Goes immediately into bashing the girl. So he tells a story about how, they moved out to Lake Tahoe or something, and from then on things went south. Whenever his family would come to visit, she would try to take him away from the family. She was basically like controlling him and manipulating him and not allowing him to see the family or some shit.
But this timeline was funny. Did anyone else see this timeline was funny? Because I did. He said that they moved to Lake Tahoe. They got engaged after college, right? And they moved to Lake Tahoe, let's say. How many years did they live together before they were engaged? Because he was saying that his family only came once a year. So how many times did it take for him to say, oh no, I can't be with you anymore? One time? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I'm really wonky on the timeline too.
Very confused. Very confused, Garrett. I don't know.
Yeah, he's not giving us the full story, clearly.
Nope.
So yeah, he did a whole session of bashing this girl yet again. And Becca, she's anticipating his family being very guarded because of like what he's just gone through, basically.
Yep.
So time to meet Garrett's family, and he has mad people here. A lot. That was a big theme. Everybody brought everybody.
A lot of people.
A lot of people, aunties and uncles and cousins, like all these unnecessary people whose opinions shouldn't really matter. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So he had mad people waiting there. Becca and Garrett arrive. Him and his brother have this very weird greeting to each other.
Yeah.
Which, is cute. People have their little things with their siblings and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's funny. Things that are cute normally with Garrett, I'm like, did you see the greeting with the brother?
Right. I'm like that racist greeting with his, like, no, it's fine. There's the siblings.
I know.
You see that white power greeting he did? Like, no.
Oh, God. Garrett clearly does not have a chance with us at all.
No.
At all. So anyways, him and his brother do a little greeting. They sit down for dinner. Garrett looks exactly like his father, which is, again, cute, but I can find something mean to say.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
So first little one-on-one, Garrett goes off with his big sister, Allison. And Allison is talking about how, I think she's saying this in confessional, his last relationship changed his entire personality. Like, almost like they didn't recognize him. And so they're all just, like, naturally worried about him and whatnot. And so Garrett, he's just going on gushing about Becca, and then the sister breaks into tears.
I know.
And
she really was in her bag.
Just reminiscing about the ex and how she sucked the life out of him, and they're really painting this picture of this complete and utter monster who just brainwashed / turned Garrett all the way out, and to the point that he was unrecognizable to his family. Like, I want to meet this girl. / I want to hear her side. Can she do an interview with Us Weekly or something? Like, because we're getting such a one-sided view, and it's painting Garrett in such a beautiful light, and I feel like there's two sides to every story, and we're not getting that other side at all. Yeah. It's real weird.
Yeah, I agree. One of my notes that I wrote down for Garrett's hometown is that his family seemed really prepped. Like, I think he had talking points for them.
They all had the same story. Yep. About how the girl sucked the life out of him and his personality changed. Yep. It was the same story.
It was the same thing. And as a big sister myself to a little brother, I can see where she's coming from, but I would still be wary of my brother if he got married and then 2 months later got divorced.
Right, because there's another side.
Right.
There has to be something about your brother that you don't 100% know.
Right.
So.
Right. And there's got to be something that my brother didn't trust within himself before he got married or before he got engaged or something. Like, it can't be that they got married and then she just flipped a switch and was a totally different person. Come on.
Yeah.
So
the likelihood of that
is low. Yeah. Those are my thoughts on Garrett too.
Yeah. So next, Becca sits with Garrett's mom. The mom asks, what do you like about Garrett? She does her same usual. I love his energy and his positivity. And she does share that, which I didn't even think of it in this way, that they do kind of share a special bond in that he's been married, she's been engaged.
Yeah.
So they kind of share that, and that they're both taking this like very, very seriously because, they just went through hell, allegedly. So, and the mom seems to like Becca and talking about how she seems to share the same values as them, and that she comes from a similar background.
Family background, right? Yes.
Family background. The commonality I see, they're both nice families, I guess. But if you want to get into the nitty-gritty of family values and value systems, I don't know if it's the same there, girl.
I don't know either, which is why your political talk, we got this in I don't know if it was an email or a tweet. I think it was an email. But someone said that they would talk about their political beliefs during fantasy suites. Nah, you got to talk about it before hometowns.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. If you're walking into a, like, Lauren B's house, oh.
Hell no. No. They hid the Confederate flags. That's
Oh my God.
Just was waving fly, like high and fly.
You guys, quick story about New Orleans. Natasha and I and our friend Roxy were walking down the street, and I literally saw a corner of someone's house and knew they were racist. And Natasha pointed at the flag. She was like, I don't know about these people. And then we looked to our right and saw a big old army truck and started running down the street.
Yeah. Just abort mission. Run as fast as you can.
Abort. And nobody here is anti-vet or anything like that, but we were in the deep south. And when you see a house like that, you just gotta run.
Yeah,
you just gotta go.
Definitely. And that, I can't wait till fantasy suites to get that.
Yeah.
And I can't wait till hometowns to see that.
Exactly.
Like, I gotta go in with a little bit of prep.
Right.
So, but yeah, so that was Garrett's hometown. And there's some other stuff, but I didn't really rate that much, so I don't really care about them. Next hometown is, we're going to Buffalo.
Yep.
Jason, who is very excited to show her the city that has made him who he is. He kept saying that. Some people have a lot of pride in where they come from.
I know, especially Buffalonians.
Yeah, it seems it's real. Like, we've been sticking it out here.
Listen,
in this Arctic tundra.
In this cold.
I've been shoveling. I got shoveling stories since I was 3. This place has made me the man I am. Like, that's what it's sounding like.
Yep. Yeah.
Ooh, Lord. I admire people who have, like, a lot of pride, though, from, like, where they're from.
I know. Me too.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I mean, I love the shit out of Jersey.
Yep.
I live in New York now, but I'm Jersey girl through and through. I noticed when I travel, I noticed this 100% when I went to Mexico. We were on a tour, and they're like, "Where's everybody from?" And people were like, "Germany, Mexico, England," and I was like, "New Jersey." Like, I don't say America.
No.
I always say Jersey. I don't know if that's like Jersey pride, or do other people do that? Like, shout out their state. Or you only shout it out if you have, like, intense pride in your state?
You might only shout it out if people know what the state is. So if you're, like,
be careful now.
I know. Sorry, guys. But you know what? Let me just say this. I think after the Jersey Shore franchise, people know what New Jersey is. But before the Jersey Shore franchise, it was hard to say I'm from New Jersey because people didn't know what it was abroad.
I guess.
People were very confused. They were like, New York? Like, what?
Yeah. Regardless, I always say Jersey. Because I've met other people, too, who, this happened to me when I was traveling. This girl we met, she was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm from New York." I was like, "Oh, what part? Like, where at? I'm from Jersey. What part?" She was like, "Oh, you're from Jersey? Oh, yeah, me too."
Yeah.
And I was like, "You just said you're from New York." She was like, "Yeah, but I'm, like, I'm in New Jersey, but, like, right outside New York." I'm like, "Don't do that, boo. Don't do that."
Right, because you just asked her what borough, and she was not going to have an answer for you.
No, because you're not from New York. You're from New Jersey. Hello. Don't do this. Right. So I'm not one of those. I have immense pride in my state. Yep. Thank you very much. So yeah, Jason too seems to ride or die for Buffalo. So he greets Becca, and their first stop, they head into this bar, and we get in there, and there's like tons of people just like screaming.
Again, so many people.
Yeah, like, screaming fans, and I'm like, what is this? And we learn that they're going to be participating in like a buffalo wings eating competition. So I guess this was like a famous buffalo like wings bar or something. Kind of cool. Yeah. I think it was cute. Yeah. I could have done without the screaming crowd. Like, they could have just gone to eat buffalo wings and maybe did like a competition between the two of them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it could have been hosted by like his cousin or something fun. Yeah. Or it was just, this is your time now to show where you're from, show your home and whatnot, and like up until this time you've been going on tons of dates with like fans and audiences. Right. And all kind of foolishness that the Bachelor producers put together, so I feel like he didn't need that portion of it. Yeah, it's supposed to be more intimate than this. Right. So anyways, so they have a whole plate of buffalo wings, they're chomping down and whatnot. Now Becca, this first bite of her buffalo wing was shameful. And I need to say something real quick that you can tell a lot about a person based on how they eat buffalo wings.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
Yes. First of all, she looked like she didn't even want the wing. She took like this itsy bitsy bite. Yeah. Like she doesn't, almost like she was a vegetarian being forced to eat
Well,
meat.
girl, she be on them aerial silks. I wouldn't want to eat the buffalo wings neither.
But people who, so I'm Jamaican, we chew the bones. So I finish my bone, I take all the meat off, the cartilage, everything. She looked like the type that eats a wing and then she puts it to the side and there's still tons of meat on it. You know those people that just kind of like eat around or eat the middle and they're like, okay, next wing. And I'm like, no, there's tons of meat on that. She was giving me those vibes and I don't fuck people like that, so. So yeah, Becca, not alright. It's not. It's a no. It's no.
Yeah.
I hate that. Sorry, I just had to say that real quick.
No, well, I think it might relate to the next point, which I don't know if you wrote this down about the question that they talked about. That he had
over buffalo wings?
About the buffalo wings. There was some question that like the host guy asked, like, oh, blue cheese or ranch, and she said blue cheese, and that was my escape to Wakanda moment, because that is how much I fucking hate blue cheese.
Really?
Oh my god, I can't stand it. I'm a ranch girl through and through. Shout out to all the ranch people. No blue cheese anywhere near me. Get it out. Get it out. Ooh.
See, I hate blue cheese, but I do love blue cheese dressing with my buffalo wings specifically. That is the only time I eat blue cheese dressing, or blue cheese in general. And I love ranch. I put ranch on everything.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my wings, I like buffalo.
No.
I mean, I love blue cheese. I mean.
Ooh.
Damn, so we both ate fuck with Becca for like
sorry, girl.
specific reasons as it relates literally to eating buffalo wings. See how serious we take our food?
Yes.
So after they do the buffalo wings, they then head off to a hockey ring. Jason grew up playing hockey, so this is important to him. During this whole time, Jason was speaking in a lot of metaphors.
Right?
He was
very broadly.
Very broad. It was like relating hockey to a relationship, and the whole thing went right over my head. Yeah. Did you catch it? I didn't.
Listen, you guys, my little brother played hockey, and there are some things that I understood. Like in hockey, it definitely is like a dance. Like it definitely is. You have to be in sync a lot of the time because it's a big team and you're skating on a thin piece of metal on ice. So like you have to. It's dangerous and all that, but the way he was talking, you think he would like, he still plays hockey and like he's in the NHL and all of this other stuff. I didn't really understand why he couldn't just say his feelings, but.
Yeah, Jason's real struggle. I mean, that was the theme of the date, and he kind of resolves it at the end, that he really struggles to kind of just put things into words. But yeah, that was that in particular. He was talking 100% in metaphors about his feelings for Becca in relationships, but relating it to hockey, which was just doing a lot.
Yes.
Doing a whole lot. So anyways, eventually he sits down and they have a little chat, and we learn that he has a brother. This is his older brother, right?
Sure.
I think so. Older brother who is in a very healthy, he's married, in a very healthy relationship. His brother and his brother's husband are like best friends. And he said that his parents have been together for a very long time. He looks up to his mother and father, but he really admires his brother's relationship.
Love.
And I loved this so much, and this really hit home for me because I feel the exact same way.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I do. A shout out to my brother and my sister-in-law.
Hey.
They are huge supporters of the podcast, and I bring them up all the time. But I came from the same thing. My parents have been married for 39, 40 years, something crazy. Of course, I admire them and yada yada, but my brother and his wife have like relationship goals to me. Like that is what they are truly each other's best friends. I could not imagine a woman more perfectly suited for my brother than my sister-in-law. Just in the way that they complement each other and match each other in so many ways. Like I love just watching their relationship.
Yeah.
More so than my parents.
Right.
So I felt I felt Jason like 100% when he said this.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, and agreed with your brother and your sister-in-law. I don't have an older sibling to look up to with that, but love those two.
Love them. So anyways, we arrive at Jason's family home. We meet his mom, his dad, his brother, his brother-in-law, and his parents. His parents seem super pleasant. His mom is gorgeous.
Right?
Did you notice that?
Yes.
Oh my god, beautiful. She's like a Hollywood actress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is fitting because he looks like a 90s
Oh my god, that's right.
pop idol or whatever.
Yeah.
Gorgeous mom. So Jason sits down with his dad. He, admits that he's pretty guarded in general, but he's shocked about how, deep his feelings are falling for Becca. And now Becca and Jason's mom sit down, and the mom asks, "Do you think you found your person?" I don't think she was asking specifically about Jason. She was just saying in general, like, do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. Becca says, I'm hopeful. However, when she said I'm hopeful, there was no, like, twinkle in her eye that this was about Jason.
Oh, yeah, no, because it wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. And the mom picked that up immediately. And immediately went and talked to Jason and said that she, I couldn't read whether she was falling for you. She was saying like that, like I couldn't read it.
Yeah.
But I knew it was that twinkle. There was no twinkle in the eye when she asked that one specific question. And so she kind of went back and told Jason that. Jason, very delusionally, says that he feels like he's been coming from behind all season, but feels like he's finally caught up and has surpassed the other guys.
Surpassed? Jason.
Surpassed? Jason.
Oh my god.
No. You still haven't even said the things yet.
Right.
What do you
right.
mean?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So the mom, you could just tell she's still not buying it.
Yeah. Yeah. She knows.
She's doing the whole, I love you, support you, whatnot. But you could just tell in her face that she's just not buying it. And that Becca didn't really sell her on that. So Jason then sits down with his brother and his brother-in-law, who, did you know, they kind of looked alike.
They did. I was wondering which one was the brother.
Me too. But then when they looked closer, I was like, okay, one of them does look a little like
Jason. Yeah.
Right. But the husband looked just like him, so that's kind of weird. But the brother flat out asks, like, are you ready to get engaged? Jason goes on and on again, gushing about how when he wakes up in the morning, he thinks of her. At night, he thinks of her.
Even right now, when we're talking, I'm thinking of her. Oh, my God.
I'm thinking of her. All this gushy love stuff. And then the brother was like, have you told her all of this? And Jason said no.
He was like, no. What do you mean?
No. Yeah, what do you mean have I said any of this? No, of course not. And the brother is like, well, you better hop to it, dude, because you got about one rose ceremony left before you about to get kicked to the curb.
Yep.
Like, hello, what are you waiting for? And so that, of course, prompted Jason to then give this very detailed 90s teen movie soliloquy where he just declared, the same thing, when I go to bed, I think of you, when I wake up, I think of you, and then ended saying, I'm so insanely, wildly in love with you. And this was my Get Me to Wakanda.
Wow.
Yeah. And I love Jason. I really appreciate him.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
This whole Shakespearean monologue just felt so forced and a little awkward. Like, only in the Bachelor world will you ever have a man who just, like, has to stand on a soapbox and, like, give this whole declaration of love in this very just exaggerated way. Like, sometimes it's cute, sometimes they do these kind of like declarations, it's cute. For me it didn't land with me. It felt like a bit like he wrote this down and had to deliver it because his brother just told him to go do it. Like it didn't feel like it came from the heart. It was too long-winded. It was too much. It was just too much.
Yeah, it felt like it wasn't the right time for him to say it.
Yeah, it felt like he was like, fuck, I'm in the Bachelor kind of like vacuum right now. The producers are telling me I need to say the things.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Becca's wanting me to say the things. My brother told me to say some things. And, you know what, let me go to the bathroom real quick, write down some things, and then come out and just deliver them verbatim to her.
Right.
That's exactly how it felt. It was, I just felt awkward, like a little uneasy. Jason, he feels, as he said, a sense of peace and finally feels like he's followed his heart for the first time.
Wow. That was you following your heart for the first time, my guy?
That's what he said. He said for the first time ever. Because he usually is ahead, you know, follows his head or whatever.
Oh, right. Yeah. He said, yeah. Okay. All right. That just tells me that nothing about his feelings that he said were not true. It's just that he probably needs that validation of her saying it back, and he knew he wasn't going to get it.
Yeah. So that's why he didn't want to do it, really.
Yeah.
Very, very true. Yeah, you're doing this whole declaration of love, and then it's one-sided. Like, the person can't even say anything back to you. Maybe that's why I felt so awkward when I was watching it, because it was just a one-sided love declaration. Yeah. And, yeah, it's just met with, like, oh, thanks. I just wanted to run to Wakanda. The whole thing was just, like, so uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
But anyways, love Jason. His family was very pleasant. Maybe my favorite family, just because his mom was gorgeous and I loved his brother and the brother-in-law.
Yeah, that's true. I liked how their like relationships dynamics worked.
Definitely. Next up is Blake.
Yes!
Our husband. And he lives in Bailey, Colorado. Becca arrives and it's snowing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous there.
Very pretty. And they're both just, you know, very giddy to see each other and whatnot. Becca reminds us that last week in the Bahamas, he told her that he is in love with her. And she repeats to the camera that her feelings are reciprocated, but she hasn't said anything yet. Why are we here?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing here?
Oh my God.
Why did I just meet Jason's entire fantastic family and know that he is not the one? Like, this is so sad. I mean, happy because I love the shit out of Blake and I want this.
Yes.
Like, this is what I want.
Yes.
But just also, whenever they have these mid-season, like, where the person found their person, it's like...
and it's obvious.
We just, like... just let's send everybody home.
Yeah.
Let them go recover, not bring them deeper into this bullshit. So anyways, she meets Blake. First stop, we're going to Blake's high school. Walking up, you can see just how tall Blake is. I've been telling y'all, he is a secret giant. I knew he was like at least 6'5", 6. Like, he looks tall. Blake is a tall ass dude, and you really saw it again this time, like how long he is walking into their high school. So they go into high school. He hasn't been here in 6 or 7 years. At first, I was like, why are we at his high school? Like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah, right.
Like this. The place was empty.
Yeah.
Like, okay, a school's a school. You're walking around, you're seeing classrooms, you're seeing trophies. She did see, like, you know, they had like a whole wall of fame on the...
Yeah, and he was on it.
He was there, so that was kind of cute. We learned that his mom worked in the high school.
Yeah.
And so he kind of grew up in the high school. I guess as a kid, like, he always was been around the school, and then eventually in high school, him and his mom in the same building. We learned last week that the mom...
Listen, I wasn't going to bring it up, but that is... Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa, that's messy.
That the mom had the little side piece action going on with the English teacher. So that's hella awkward.
Yeah.
But yeah, he runs into quote unquote runs into some of his old teachers and coaches, and these people are just oh look, it's Blake.
Oh my God. It's Saturday. I was just sitting here doing nothing. Look, it's Blake and a bunch of cameras.
So yeah, they brought in some of his, you know, old people that could vouch for him and talk about how great he was and blah blah. So then we go sit with them in the library, and Blake reveals that, you know, there's something else that happened in high school that has really shaped him. And I was like, God, I'm not ready for this, because you just had a horrific high school experience with your mama and the fucking English teacher. What else is there? God damn. So we learned that his senior year of high school, his school had a school shooting.
Mm-hmm.
A deranged man with clearly mental issues came into the school, I guess was shooting up the place. His very scary because his mom works in the building. Yeah. His little sister was a freshman at the time when he was a senior. And so he kind of like walked through that day. It sounds horrifying.
Oh my God, awful. And how did we not know about this?
Know about what? About one of 25,000 school shootings that happen every goddamn day in this country? Of course we didn't know about it. We're like numb to it now. This shit happens all the fucking time.
But it was a while ago though, right? Because he's like our age.
Yeah, it was a while ago. So like 10 years.
Yeah. But still, like, ugh. That really, about that whole thing, that was one thing that I was thinking the whole time he was telling the story, like, and we never knew. We never knew this happened. This wasn't even a targeted attack. This was just a random guy camping somewhere near the school. Like, what?
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
We've gotten on enough soapboxes today. We're
I know. I can't. So, yes, terrible tragedy. A student died. This obviously changed Blake's just whole entire just treatment of life and his outlook on life, and definitely had a huge hand in the man that he's become. And Becca, she's just kind of sitting here hearing the story, and you can literally see her falling deeper and deeper in love with this man.
Honestly, you know what it was? It's the fact that all these guys, right, except it seems like for Jason, all these guys have been through these life-changing experiences that would usually be seen as a dent or baggage. And Blake always has this extremely positive spin of resolution on everything he's been through.
Yes, and he's been through some tragedies.
Through literally everything that every guy has been through, and then more after that. Like, so much. He's been through everything. And he's like, and you know, that really turned me into a positive person who appreciates life. I'm like, what?
What? Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out what Garrett learned from that goddamn relationship.
We are still learning. I'm still trying to learn what Colton learned about with Tia's like little weekend getaway thing. Like, we still don't know if he like doesn't like Tia anymore. Like,
so many questions.
So many questions for these other guys who has had maybe one or two incidents in their lives, and then this guy has been through it all, been through the ringer, and is just came out so positive. This is why I love Blake. Love him.
Yeah, love it. And Becca clearly loves it too.
Yep.
She is just you can just tell in her eyes, just falling deeper and deeper in love with him. And said to the camera, with everything he's gone through, he's become such a strong, beautiful man.
Oh, agreed.
I know. Warm my little heart. So Garrett,
Ew.
These names.
I know.
I'm so sorry. These damn Garrett, Colton, Blake, these generic white man names. I can't help it. Blake then tells her, you know, he has one more surprise for her. You know, they're walking down the hallway, and those goddamn double doors. Fucking double doors appear.
Oh my God.
And we open up the double doors, and pretty much all of Bailey, Colorado is screaming in the gymnasium.
Yes.
Becca is terrified because she was not expecting all of these screams. And then who's on stage? Betty
Who is on stage?
Who is on stage? Betty who? But for real though.
No, for real.
For real though. So Becca said this is her favorite singer.
She knew every word.
She knew every word. Somebody on Twitter, Melina emailed us and said that she is a gay icon.
Really?
Apparently. I ain't hearing the gay clubs.
No, me either.
But Becca was very happy. She knew all the words. She was all hunky-dory. I was excited at least that it was somebody that people seemed to know, at least. Yeah,
and Betty did have, like, backup dancers and a whole outfit.
A whole outfit.
You know, she had some budget, so this must be a famous person.
Must be somebody.
Yeah.
Yes. If Melina, our emailer, is calling her a gay icon, I mean, she's somebody.
She's somebody.
Okay. So they're on stage, they're dancing, they're hugging it up, and just having a good old grand time.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally leave the school, and it's time to meet Blake's family.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the hometown that we were all kind of waiting for, because we're like, is the mama going to be there?
Listen, how many homes we going to?
Right. Oh, we going to 2 homes. The mama gonna be there. Right. The English teacher. How him and the dad. Like, what's going on there? Mm-hmm. But we went to 1 home and everybody was there. Yep. Everybody seemed to be kind of hunky dory. We meet his mom. Mom Shelly is there. Mm-hmm. She is showing her face, so clearly ain't nothing wrong.
Yeah. No.
The dad and the stepdad are everybody sitting kosher in 1 room. So I'm like, okay, we've moved past this. Mm-hmm. And we're all onto greener pastures. So Blake sits with his mom, tells his mom that he is, in love with Becca, of course. Mm-hmm. And the mom, she's just very giddy because she can just tell by looking in his eye that he's found the one.
I know. She seems like such a nice mom too.
She did. Yeah, she was. Yeah. She was a very nice mom.
She's really like warm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very warm. And she can already tell that he's found the one, so she's just like, you can tell she's like giddy that she's playing in the wedding. She's all excited. Yep. So Blake sits with his dad, and the dad is like, are you prepared for if you don't win? Because that's a very real possibility. Mm-hmm. And I love how the dad kind of just like brought us back to ground zero.
Yeah, he
brought
did.
us back to planet Earth. Soon you're not going to be on these lavish dates. Mm-hmm. You're going to be back to reality. Like, have you thought about that? Yeah. Has there been any thoughts across your mind about when this is all over? Mm-hmm. And Blake, he tells his dad, he spoke with her very deeply about the divorce. He spoke with her very deeply about the school shooting and how, all these things have changed him. And how he has not been this happy in a relationship before. Mm-hmm. Even in his last relationship, he's not been this happy before. And so I guess that was his way of telling his dad that, like, we've stepped out of reality. I mean, we've stepped out of the lavish, bachelor world. Like, I've let her into the fucking mess that I've been through. So, we've done those things. We've had those conversations. Mm-hmm. So, trying to reassure his dad that he hasn't been completely blinded by the bachelor, glitz and glam.
Mm-hmm. Which is admirable. He didn't have to tell her any of that.
Yeah, he didn't have to. Or he could have really glossed it over, kind of... he didn't have to do any of that, really. But these were clearly things that shaped who he is, so it would be ridiculous if he didn't go into them. So then Becca sits with Blake's mother, and the mom goes in and says, I've gone through heartbreak with Blake, his last relationship. Blake is the one where the girlfriend was in the group text.
And the group text broke up with him and then took a shower and he found it. Woo!
Yeah. All his girls like, you broke up with him? Like, so that was that story. And so the mom, she's saying she's been through it with Blake. Mm-hmm. And Becca just reassures her, like, we had a very instantaneous connection. We've been on the same wavelength from day one. We've never taken a step back. And basically that they have, like, the strongest connection, essentially. Which is true. If you really think about it, like, with all the other guys, there's been something... like off or whatnot.
Yeah, or it's like based in physical and then she gets to everything else.
Right, like with Garrett, I think.
Yeah, with Garrett and Jason both. She's like, oh my god, he's such a good kisser.
Mm-hmm. With Blake, it's been super deep and like an instantaneous something from the very, very start. So they have a really good foundation, apparently. So, the mom, she kind of really gives insight. So I just keep loving Blake more and more. She gives insight into pretty much like that terrible breakup he went through. Yeah. And how, like, she was there when he was crying and when he was doubting if he'll find anybody again. Mm-hmm. And, like, the sides that we never see of men, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we always talk about women's emotions and how women go through breakups and how terrible it is. And, guys go through breakups too, and they...
And feel away,
and feel away and feel hopeless and they're never going to find somebody again and all of that. So to hear the mom kind of give that kind of give us a window into how Blake handled his relationship or his breakup really just kind of gave more depth to him. you know?
Yeah.
Making him even more of a well-rounded person that he already is. So Becca says in her confessional, I can see Blake in my life forever.
I mean...
and being with his family forever.
Hello? Of course.
Hello. And during their goodbye near the car, you know, they're hugging it out, whatever. You can tell she's like struggling to not say I love you, Beck. Like she's really, really biting the shit out of her tongue.
Oh my God. She just wanted to stay over in his old room and just...
I know. and just hang out with the family. The family's so nice and everything. Yeah. But yeah, she'd hop in the car and head on over to Parker, Colorado, where Colton is from. And she does the whole run, jump, hug thing. And she admits, you know, going into Colton's hometown that she's very apprehensive about the fact that he's only been in one relationship and, you know, still going on and on about that.
She keeps harping about that, but I think it's code for virgin.
Thank you. I was going to get to that. I was going to get to that later. Actually, that might be one of my moments.
You want to get to it later?
I think so.
Okay.
But yeah, I think there's more there with her reservations with Colton that she's not really honoring.
Yeah.
But anyways, Colton, he set up their date. They're going to a children's hospital, where he's, you know, very involved with the cystic fibrosis department or a community, whatnot. But first they're going to stop by some toys and then go in. Colton looks like I don't care what y'all think about Colton these days. Colton looks like a fucking snack. Oh my God, he is beautiful. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I had to say it.
That is so funny.
He looks gorgeous. His arms and his back and that white shirt he had on just busted through. I said it before. I need to start dating athletes. I think I really need to.
Yeah.
This body is just like everything.
Yeah.
I don't even really be looking at bodies like that.
I know
really
you
am
don't.
a face person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can go for skinny guys. I can go for guys with a little, you know, dad bod, but I might have to reevaluate my whole everything because this body was doing something. He looked gorgeous.
That is so funny because I still think of him as your man. So I just still look at him and I'm like, he's cute.
He is.
Like if your husband looked like that, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's Natasha's husband. That kid's gonna be adorable. I would not even look at him like sexually.
My God. You're not looking at him like you want to eat him up too?
Nope.
No?
Nope. That's your man.
Oh my
nope.
God. I'll take him. I will gladly. Because that body, goddamn. So anyways, they spent... just pause and just just gotta give appreciation sometimes.
Yeah.
Just gotta give appreciation. Talk about his face a lot, but that body was like doing something in that white shirt. Anyways, they spend the day at the hospital playing and painting with these two kids who have cystic fibrosis. And this whole date was this was everything for me.
know. I would have loved this date.
I love this. I mean, this really shows Colton and his like do-gooder, you know, quality. That is a huge quality for me. I love the do-gooders. That's why I've been on tons of dates with like teachers and broke-ass people who are doing good shit for the community but can barely pay for dinner. But I love that quality. Like, just do-gooders. They give. They give back to the community. They find their little, you know, cause or whatnot that is important to them, and they do what they can. So I love that he, you know, folded her into that area that is very important to him in life, clearly. So after they are in the hospital, they go outside and have sit down and have a chat. And Colton drops another bomb and says that tonight will be when I bring you to my family. This is also foreign to me because I've never brought a girl home before in a formal setting. So Twitter and the internet has been going nuts and calling him a liar because there's been photos that came out that his last girl, Allie Raceman, the gymnast, she met the family. Yeah. Did she meet the family like at the Olympics, or did she meet the family at his house? See, I don't know, because he said, I've never brought a girl home in a formal setting, so I'm guessing like where you're like, Mom and Dad, I'm bringing a girl home to meet the family. I don't know if he did that with Allie, but there was tons of pictures with Allie with the fam, so. Well, I also have questions about this, because didn't Becca have the same thing?
Didn't she have Ross the Boss, the last 7-year one? Didn't they only meet like in the parking lot at the Walmart?
Oh, right. She did say that Ross never officially met the family. But he's met the family, but not like officially.
Right, and he dated him for 7 years. So this is not a bomb for her, Becca. Yeah. Don't think we don't have receipts on you, girl.
That's a good point, though. Like, you can meet somebody's significant other. Like, they could have met the fam, but not had, like, an official meeting with the fam.
Like, we're bringing flowers and dinner for whatever. Yeah.
Doing a whole thing. Yeah. Good point. So, anyways, Becca, immediately when she hears this, that he's never brought a girl home, you could just tell she's, like, turned off. And she said that she's worried that she tells him, like, that he might not be ready at the end of this. Because he seems like so many steps behind from everyone, never had sex, never brought a girl home, you know, said I love you for the first time, all this shit. And he just assures her that, you know, he's confident what he wants, she's what he wants, you know, blah, blah, blah. So it's time to meet the family. And just like everybody else, this nigga got his whole entire family there. Literal aunts. He called out aunts and uncles and cousins.
Everyone. He said 18 people were going to be there?
It was 18?
18 people.
This is out of control. Why do all these people need to be there?
I don't know.
All of their opinions don't matter. And that to me just distracts from like her really, from the mom and the dad really getting like a good look at her.
Right.
And like her getting a really good, all this extra eyes and ears and people around. Just, I don't know. That's not how I would have done the hometown.
Yeah, no, me either.
So anyways, the mom is just so excited. She has never seen her son this happy before. She's never really seen him in a relationship much before, so she'll take anything. The dad, so Colton describes his relationship with his dad as like coach player.
Yeah, I did, and I caught it also in his relationship with his mother. He really leans on his relationship with his mother, kind of how he would emotionally for both parents. So.
Yeah, yep, I see that. The dad seems like a very tough coach kind of mentality, like, gotta be a man.
Yeah,
I can kind of see those talks, like they've had those talks. So when he's really going through it, he goes to his mom, basically.
Yeah.
Colton's dad,
right? he can get it too.
He can get it. He was had an old little dust to snack himself. He had a little snack side to himself too.
Oh my god, not a geriatric snack.
Oh my god. He had a body on him, though.
He did. He
had a body on him. He was also very tall, statuesque, and you know how to.
Yeah, their hug like echoed. Like when they patted each other on the shoulder, it was like the walls were shaking.
Through the walls. Oh Lord. So Dad and Colton and his dad sit down. Dad first up is like, "What's up with Tia? What happened with the Tia situation?" And Colton, you could tell he's a certain way around his dad. Like his dad's a tough dad. Probably doesn't say I love you very much.
Yeah.
Maybe only hugs him after he like scores a touchdown or something like that.
Yeah.
And he kind of sat up straight. He's like, you know, it's been addressed. I handled it like a man. He kind of said those like code words for my dad does not fuck around or hug me ever. And so the dad, next question, what's up with Ari?
Yeah.
She was just engaged. Like, what's going on with that? Have y'all talked about that? And Colton kind of, you know, like, I think she's ready. I believe she's ready. The dad clearly is not buying it.
Nope.
Because he next sits down with Becca, and same thing, addresses the whole Tia thing with her, and then asks her, like, so have you addressed your relationship with Ari? And finally, Becca's in the hot seat.
Yeah.
And this is where the dad got my invite to the cookout.
A throwback from last season.
Throwback.
Okay.
Because I told you, ain't no Becca you ain't.
Yeah,
but
true.
We still need to use the sound bites, so throw it in here.
Okay.
The dad is coming to my cookout because he finally kind of redeemed Hometowns as somebody who came in with some tough questions and put Becca in the hot seat. And it's true, we haven't really put Becca on the hot seat in terms of you were just engaged 45 seconds ago. And now you're ready to get engaged again. Like, are you really over your feelings for Ari? Like, How are you feeling? Like, we haven't really done... We've all just assumed, you know, Ari's a piece of shit.
Right.
Becca deserves this. Let her start her journey for love. But can we sit and talk about the fact that she was full on in love, engaged with somebody, like, not that long ago? You know what I mean?
Someone who's very different from all these other people.
Very different from all 4 of these men. And so the dad, came in with the questions, really appreciated it. Becca immediately kind of like, well, you could tell she was like, that's a very good question. Thank you. Let me put together my answer really quick because I was not expecting this question. So, and so she basically was like, nah, we haven't really talked about it. And, you know, Colton hasn't really asked about it. She kind of put it on Colton. Yeah, Colton hasn't really asked me that many questions about it. And... You know, her whole thing, she's like, I'm not going to let the Ari thing stop me from finding my person. I still deserve love, blah, 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 blah. And so the dad, still coming in strong, he says, look, I want Colton to find his person too. And, you know, he's looking for someone that he can, you know, spend time growing with and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he says, quote, as much as I want happiness for him, unless you truly care the same way about him, then I don't want you to pick him.
It's great advice.
And it's better, get advice. It's better you hurt him now rather than later. So if there's any inkling that my son is not the one, cut him loose before I come after you. It's basically essentially. Big ass dad was saying, And, you know, Becca's like, okay, noted, got it. Becca, the mom sits down with Colton, you know, he tells her how he's, you know, had to reveal the whole virgin thing to her.
Which is, like, a lot for a mom to have that conversation. I don't know. I was like, what?
That's a little, awkward. I mean, you're close with your mom and your dad, but there's still, like, boundaries.
Yeah,
so,
like, what? I don't know.
Talking about virginity is, like, a little awkward always. We're just talking about sex in general.
Yeah, with your parents.
With your parents, and so the mom asks, you know, do you think she loves you? He says, I think so. Do you think she's ready for engagement? Do you think you're ready for engagement? Sorry. And he says, yes, there's a good chance we'll get engaged, and I love her.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Lord.
This is the moment he went home. The moment his dad said it cut him loose. And then his mom was asking him all those questions, and he was like,
wasn't looking good. Was not looking good. Clearly, everyone in this hometown was on a different page.
I know.
The mom is...
This is a family that was not prepped.
Not prepped at all. Not at all. The mom is just over the moon excited, seeing her son, you know, in love. The dad is like, fuck all of this bullshit. Send my son home. Becca is like on the fence about where she stands with Colton, but clearly she has feelings about his virginity and all that stuff, and ain't really saying nothing. And then Colton's like all in love. Like everybody was on 4 different planes, and clearly it just wasn't gonna work out then because this wasn't it. So Becca and the mom sit down. She tells her, like, look, I do have concerns. And she said, you know, last week he told me, quote, he's not been that intimate with women, end quote. The fact that Becca can't even say, like, he's a virgin or he hasn't had sex, like, she has to say this kind of, he hasn't been intimate. This is where she got my nigga you ain't shit award.
Wow!
Yes. Wow. Because I think that little Freudian slip there where she couldn't really say the word, that was letting us know that this virgin thing is a bigger deal to Becca than we, you know, really thought. I don't think she's been honest with him about how big of a deal it is to her that, you know, we're going into fantasy suites and you haven't had sex.
Am I gonna have to teach you, bruh?
Right, like, and that it's a bigger deal to her.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Sex means different things to different people.
Yes, right.
And to her, I think it is important to her.
Yeah, which
that
is totally
she wants
fine.
to be intimate with someone. That's totally fine. Yeah. But she's not saying that.
Yeah.
And clearly, it's starting to kind of come out in these little ways. Her not even be able to say Colton has not had sex. Like, she can't even stomach it enough to even say it out loud. She has to say this whole, he hasn't been intimate, whatever the fuck she said.
Yeah.
That I don't think she should. I don't think she is being honest with him. And he probably maybe should have gone home from when he told her that he was a virgin.
He should have.
You know?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yep.
At the very end of the date, you know, Colton and Becca, you have their little moment, their goodbye. He says, you know, seeing you today with my family, I know that I'm in love with you. So, you know, he's saying all the things. And she said, like, to the camera, like, I can see a husband, a life partner, a teammate.
Agreed, but she does not want to have him in no fantasy suite. So
right, and you see these things. You see him as a husband, a partner, a life mate, but not for you. Is
right.
Really, what was missing from that clause.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, that was the end of the hometowns. Any final thoughts on hometowns? Or just move right
I think what you said directly about Colton's virginity versus what I was saying, that she's saying all these code words of like, he has only had one relationship, I think is just an indicator as to, like, Becca's not letting us get to know her the way that I want her to.
Right. We're kind of analyzing and picking up on things now about her, but we're not getting that outright from her.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And I don't know. Next week is Fantasy Suites. Do we go back to her house with Uncle Gary at all? Or is it Fantasy Suites and Proposal?
Well, next week they're going to Thailand, so they're going I guess hometowns is afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Well, Fantasy Suites I think is next week.
Yeah, I think so.
Since they're going to be abroad, they usually do it then, and then we go to hometown. I don't know. It seems kind of, the lineup seems a little different.
It seems weird. I don't know if we're gonna go back to her house to see how her family reacts to this, and I would really like to see that. Like, I really want to see Becca at home talking about these guys with her friends, and you know, all of that stuff. I'd rather
see, like, Becca.
Yeah, like the real girl.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, with the whole sex thing, like, Becca probably on the low is like a freak. And I know, you know, ABC, they don't have, you know, the
parameters. Yes.
The parameters to kind of show her as a freak of the week. But she could at least even say little things like, yeah, you know, sex is very important to me. I love to be physical, like, like, sex is fun. Like, she could say some of those little things, but we haven't gotten any of that. Nothing. And I think on the low, she really does love sex.
Yeah, which is totally great.
Which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But we're not getting that. We're getting this whole, like, weird apprehension of, you know, Colton, you know, not being ready, or he hasn't been, like, with...
immature.
He's immature, and he's this. It's like, you have issues with the virginity thing. Just say it. Just say it.
Yeah.
Totally valid, totally fine. Just say it.
You know who would have said it? Rachel.
Rachel would have 100% said it.
Like...
Yes, because I feel like we knew Rachel.
Yep.
We knew what she was really looking for. We knew who she was as a woman more. Becca, I feel like we've been seeing kind of like this shell of a Midwestern white woman who's liberal, and like that's it. Like, I don't actually know that much about her. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Yeah. So anyways, that was the end of hometowns. Next, you know, Becca, she needs to kind of spend some time with some people, kind of get some other thoughts in her head. She's been sitting, talking with producers for months, and so I think it's only fair that she gets to meet with some girlfriends. And so here we have, you know, some girls from last season again. Cien, Tia, Caroline, Becca, and Kendall. And she's very giddy sitting with the girls. She's telling them that she, you know, 100% sees her husband in this group. And then she kind of runs through the 4 hometowns. Or she kind of runs through who's left.
Yeah,
I don't think the girls knew exactly what guys were left.
Yeah.
And, you know, goes through each of the 4 hometowns. She reveals with Jason that he is the best kisser, which we didn't really know, and his kissing doesn't really stand out to me.
Doesn't look like
just
it to
by
me,
looking at it.
Yeah, I'm not making out with him, so who knows?
Yeah, it was funny though when she said that. One of the girls was like, "You got to bring him to hometown," or no?
Oh, Fantasy Suites. That was our girl CN. That was our girl CN. Shout out to CN. Yes.
Oh yeah. So you got a little glimpse into Jason and
how he made it so far.
Yeah. So then she talks about Colton and Colton's hometown, and you know, there's a million awkwardness because Tia's sitting right there. You know, Becca, she's talking very candidly about Colton, blah, blah, blah. But you can tell there's an awkwardness.
Oh, my God.
From Becca, and then obviously an awkwardness from Tia. And the camera just kept flashing to Tia. Kept getting Tia's moments of just pure awkwardness. And so Becca's talking about the hometown, how it all went. You know, she says, you know, we even addressed, you know, that you guys used to date with the family. You know, we talked about it with the family, whatnot. And then Tia asks Becca if she can talk with her on the side.
Yeah. Mid-convo.
This is when we just knew that something's about to go down. So the two of them go out on the veranda and leave the girls inside. And Tia says, look, I have to be fully honest with you because there's, you know, it's been weighing on me. And she says that I do still have feelings for Colton. And knowing that you just met his family, and that he's, like, still here with you is making me feel sick.
Wow.
Yo. Tia, yo. Oh, my God. So, the biggest question from everyone watching this, obviously, is why didn't she say any of this before?
Way before. She had a chance to say this before, and she said, like, oh, we just kissed, it's fine.
Right. And so that's the big question. Second question going along with that is, like, so what is the truth about this relationship? Because she's still hung up on these feelings for Colton, a man that she had, like, one magical weekend with,
right?
Whatever the hell that is. But clearly there must be something more there if she has feelings so much so that she feels the need to now have to tell Becca.
Right.
Like, she can't go on watching this love progress because my feelings for him are so deep. Like, that kind of thing. Back inside, Caroline reveals that, I think it was Caroline, somebody, said that she's been getting texts all the time from Tia saying how she's just sick to her stomach, knowing that Colton is there.
Still there.
They're still doing this. And so Becca obviously is pissed. She's like, well, shit, I wish I knew this before.
Hello.
You know, I could have sent him home weeks ago had I known this. And now it's just kind of awkward because I also have very strong feelings for him. So, like, what the fuck?
Also makes me think that Colton definitely went on the show thinking it was Tia.
100%. Thank you for bringing that back up.
Yeah.
100% he auditioned for this shit thinking it was going to be Tia. And then he got cast anyways. He saw Becca. Okay, she's not bad. Yeah. And he went through the process. But really, there was a lot more going on with Mr. Colton and Miss Tia. Dr. Tia.
Dr. Tia,
that we knew. So yeah, Tia kind of drops this bomb and it's just like, yep, just kind of wanted to let you know. So I mean, people have a lot of feelings on this. I have some feelings.
Okay.
Part of me does think this is, like, unfair. Like, I had the first immediate reaction of, like, why didn't she say this before? Like, what the fuck? Like, you had a whole sit-down revelation thing with her about the whole Colton, you know, thing with you. Like, why did you not leave everything on the table then?
Right.
So I 100% see that. I also kind of feel for Tia. Yeah. Because I've been here where sometimes you're not always honest with yourself about your feelings.
Okay, true.
And so it could have taken time away where she's really now sitting here marinating over the fact that Colton is still in the house, and it's really just now hitting her like, fuck, my feelings for him are way stronger than I said to Becca,
mm-hmm.
and that I even said to myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that gets sticky because you're thinking, you know, she should have said all this before, but it's like she didn't say all this before because maybe she wasn't honest with herself before.
Yeah,
she didn't know she had these feelings before. Yeah, she really didn't know.
Yeah.
And so I see both sides to it, and it fucking sucks. Like,
also, last time Tia was talking about this, Colton was there.
Right.
So that could have been that too.
Right, and now she can be fully free because he's not there, and, you know, Becca's here trying to get, you know, kiki with girls and stuff,
right.
And so she feels more, like she doesn't have to be as guarded because that other guy's in the room, that other guy who you also don't even, she doesn't really know where he stands on her, if he still has feelings for her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's shitty. It's shitty.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole thing is shitty. Yep. But like
for every party, everybody involved.
For every party, yeah, for every party. Tia now though, she's facing a lot of backlash.
Yeah, you guys. I read one of her DMs and I was like, oh my god, you guys are taking this way too far.
Yeah, she's getting death threats and people are sending like full on like long form essays about how she ain't shit and go, you know, jump off a bridge.
Yeah, like they were perfect for each other, blah blah blah. Like who was perfect for who? Because Becca and Colton were not perfect for each other. So what?
Right, and we don't know these people.
We don't know these people. Oh my god.
We definitely don't. I mean, we all have so many questions about the Tia Colton thing.
Yeah.
So we can't jump to fucking sending death threats to people. That's not even cool. But yeah, so Tia spoke her truth, and Becca is, as she said, angry, frustrated, hurt. You know, she doesn't want to lose any friends over a guy. Nobody wants to do that. Just fucking whack always. But she's like, I did just meet his family. He did just tell me he loves me. Like, how do I do this now?
Right.
Jeez. So yeah, that mess is, you know, we're still resolving that mess.
It almost makes it easier, though, because I remember last hometowns with Dean and Rachel, and I remember thinking, like, during Dean's hometown, like, there is absolutely no way he's getting picked. Like, there is no way. And it was simply because of that hometown and the dynamics of his family. That is way harder to place the blame on someone than this messy foolishness. This is like shade room drama that she could be like, no, you gotta go. Like,
like there's so many things happening that can be blamed.
Too much. So it's almost a little, I feel like it was a little bit easier than most hometown episodes where the people have to like really break your heart because of a very serious reason.
That's true. Yeah. That's why okay, we'll get to it. So, time for the roast ceremony. Our men are walking up looking very spiffy.
Colton the spiffiest, I think.
Oh, of course. Okay, we'll just start with him then. Colton walking up looking like an NFL free agent headed to the ESPYs. He had on that look that I call it, like the NFL look, you know what I mean?
Yep.
They wear those very fitted suit, but then they don't wear a collar shirt. They wear like a t-shirt. I'm not really sure what that is underneath.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, but it's like dress up, dress down kind of look. It's like sporty. But he looked just fine as shit. So he was the last one, but we can start off with the best for last. Or the best first, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, best dressed as always, Colton. Yep. Next, Jason. He had on an all blue suit. Looked pretty basic to me.
Yeah, I don't even remember. So sorry, Jason.
It's pretty basic. Blake, loved Blake's look.
Loved.
He had on a all black, black on black on black, and then he had on the red bow tie, which, you know, I fucking hate these bow ties.
I know.
But he still looked great.
He did, yeah. And I like the red bow tie rather than a red tie.
Yeah, the red tie would have looked like he was going to prom 1999 or something.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, but the bow tie, a little different, I guess. Yeah. Modern? I don't know. And I don't know. I don't know how to speak in male fashion. I don't know what the
I know, male
terms are.
fashion's a tough one.
Yeah. And then Garretts, also black on black on black.
Yeah.
I looked like he was going to a funeral.
Yeah, he looked whack. I really didn't like it at all.
Bad. It was weird because it was also black on black, and Blake also had on the black on black, but Garrett, he had on, I think it was a black tie, they had like a white pocket square. It just looked funeral to me for some reason. I don't know.
Almost pallbearer. Specifically, like he could put on a glove.
Yeah, carrying the casket, like.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's like in the funeral. Like,
yes, yeah.
He's part of the funeral party. Yikes. So Colton, when he walks up, he immediately, greets Chris Harrison and is like, look, fantasy suites, I'm nervous.
And this is where he got my nigga you ain't shit award.
Colton?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
Why?
Why was he asking Chris Harrison about fantasy suites? He had Becca at his house for 24 hours. Why didn't he say anything then?
Yeah.
What is he doing asking Chris Harrison? And you had your whole family there. You clearly are fine with your mama. So why didn't you ask your mom? Like, next week it's fantasy suites. I don't know what to do.
Right.
Like, why? Ugh. This just got on my nerves.
That's what made me think, like, what... First, Chris Harrison, like, who the fuck is he? What does he know? Like, this was one of those, like, producer put him up to it moments. It has to be. It has to be.
Yeah.
Why else would Colton seek out advice on fantasy suites from Chris Harrison? What the fuck does he know?
I guess. I don't know. I think him asking about it to any person would have been a good moment. I just think Chris Harrison, right before the rose ceremony where he got eliminated, was the worst time for him to ask.
Worse. Yeah, it was stupid. That would have been a nice moment during his hometown.
Yeah.
Like him and his dad have a little like emotional moment or something.
Oh, I don't know about all that, but yeah.
Yeah. I would have loved to see it from the dad. The dad who like tells him to be a man and like pats him on the back and shit. Like
I guess I would
having that little moment with the dad would have been so cute.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But instead he had it with Chris Harrison.
God. So Becca shows up, she's ready for the rose ceremony. She's wearing a black, it was like a black Jessica Rabbit-esque dress.
I loved it.
I really liked it too.
Yeah.
It read very Miss Universe.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Miss World, one of those. So it was black, sparkly, V-neck, halter, with a high slit, low back. Just
a lot of just cute.
A lot of stuff. So she gives her speech to the guys about how, this week has been really hard. Everything's been weighing on her. So it's definitely the hardest rose ceremony. But she has to follow her heart. First rose goes to our husband, Blake.
Yeah.
Who is obviously the clear front runner.
It's so foolish.
This is just ridiculous that we're here. But anyways, first rose go to Blake. Second rose went to Jason. Oh, that was a shocker.
Yes, I was shocked too.
I thought for sure, obviously, that was going to
Garrett. Yeah.
And that it would come down to Jason and Colton. But nope. Jason got his reassurance speed, like, very quickly. Last rose... obviously went to Garrett.
Duh.
Like, who else? Colton looked so crestfallen in this moment. It was like a sadness that, not like he was gonna cry, but like a deep, like he got a pang in his heart kind of sadness. Yeah. And it made, like, watching him, because I have a little soft spot for my boo Colton. It made me a little bit pissed at Becca, to be honest, because like Colton was going home all along.
Yeah. Yep. Since he said that, since Bahamas, he was going home.
He was going home, and so I just think it's a little mean of Becca. Like, Colton's like a different kind of person. He's a different kind of dude.
Yeah.
He's never brought a girl home. Yeah. He's a virgin. Like, all these, like, he's having so many first moments. It almost, say almost, is like your boo.
Like my boo, Eric. I know, I was thinking that too.
where Eric was having a lot of like first moments. We're kind of watching his journey of love and whatnot. And with Colton, you can tell that Becca is like his, right now, Becca's like his whole world. He's like so excited about her and this love and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And so Becca, she knows damn well that there was no way that her connection with Colton would ever trump the connection with Blake or Garrett.
Yeah, no, please.
And so, like, why someone like Colton, like the Colton Erics of the world who are so, like, new to all of this, why put them through all of this and then send them home?
I know. I mean, it's basically which hometown would you rather go to? Like, Leo's hometown? Because that was basically the choice. It was either Leo or Colton. Like, I guess you'd rather pick Colton.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Because Colton, you do want to see kind of who's this family that raised this fucking unicorn of a human being.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, selfishly, I would choose him as a hometown, but it just, I felt extra sad for him. Just like how I felt kind of like extra sad for Eric, because you kind of see their little journey, and like he's been so vulnerable, talking about being a virgin on national motherfucking television, and having all these damn skeletons come out the closet. Literally look like a fool for a lot of the episode, for a lot of the season. These skeletons just tumbling out.
Yeah.
And she knew that there was no way he was ever going to top Blake, but yeah, he's been dragged through all of this. Now he goes home.
Right.
It was kind of sad. So yeah, she walks him out, and she lets him know that, look, I talked to your dad. He said, don't waste my boy's time. Send him home if he's not the one. And so I'm just following what your father told me.
See, placing the blame again. But you know what, Becca, we'll let it slide.
Because she didn't mention Tia at all. She didn't say the Tia thing.
Because I think she decided before that she got to Tia that he was going.
That he was already going home.
Yeah.
And Tia was just like the nail in the coffin.
Right.
Like, he's definitely got to go.
That is officially now Tia's business. Like, she
100%.
broke up with him, and she doesn't have to say nothing about that conversation with Miss Tia.
Nope. You could have him.
Yeah.
Go right ahead, my friend. So yeah, Colton is headed home, and he's in the limo. So this is, I said, when he was in the limo, he kind of had this like stoic face. No tears came down, nothing. He looks like a man who's gone through some years of holding back tears, and a father who said, walk it off.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I keep going back to how he described his relationship with his dad as coach and player. That is like kind of sad.
Very.
But,
That's very sad.
We'll just keep going through it. Like, you guys have a nice relationship. And I'm sure they do, but the depth of emotions and the crying, like, he was keeping it real tight in that limo. And it just made me think he's done this many a times.
Yeah.
Where he's been told, act like a man, don't cry.
Right.
Like, and I'm drawing all kinds of conclusions. That this could all be nothing, but that was the impression that I got from it.
This is also his second public relationship that's gone south.
Oh, true.
So I don't know what his reaction was to the last one, but I'm sure it wasn't all hunky-dory either.
All hunky-dory. True. So yeah, he's blindsided. Obviously, he called their hometown the best date he's ever had, and with that, we will basically see Colton in paradise.
Yeah.
So. Yep. It's Bachelor Twitter or Bachelor in Paradise Twitter, whatever, confirmed that he will be in paradise. And we already know that Miss Dr. Tia will be in paradise.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see this whole thing go down. And finally get some answers to a lot of our questions of what is the history, the backstory, the current status quo, the everything of this Colton Tia love story. That is clearly more than a weekend in fucking paradise.
Obviously, yeah, a weekend in Arkansas or whatever they did.
In Wiener? Weekend in
Wiener. Yeah, weekend in Wiener.
Yep, it's a lot more than we thought. And so we'll learn more in paradise. So Becca heads back to the guys, and then she announces that next week they are headed to Chiang Mai, Thailand.
So cool.
I'm very excited about. I spent 10 days in Chiang Mai, Thailand.
Oh, you did?
Fun fact, yeah.
Ooh.
Went to Thailand a couple weeks ago. Not a couple weeks ago. Went to Thailand about 3 years ago. Was there for 3 weeks and spent 10 of those days in Chiang Mai. So I'm very, very excited to see their dates there. And that was the episode, guys.
What do we add?
Thanks for hanging in there.
Ooh,
oh my god.
We're at 2 hours.
We are.
Yep.
Holy shit. There was a preview for next week.
Mm-hmm.
We see Jason saying, I love you with all the confidence in the world.
Yep.
We see Garrett saying, I truly do love you, and I hope you're the last woman I ever have to say that to.
Which is a good line. I can't lie.
That was a good line, Garrett. I'll give you that. And we see Blake, same thing. I love you a lot. Mm-hmm. And then he's just gushing. I couldn't really hear what he was gushing about, but... and then we see Becca on a bed,
sobbing,
crying her eyes out. And she says, I feel like I literally did to him what Ari did to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I watched this preview multiple times and pieced together who she said this to.
Because I think I know too.
Who she was potentially talking to.
Yep.
So, spoiler alert to anybody who doesn't want to hear theories or anything like that. Speed ahead to the end. She, in this moment on the bed, was wearing the same dangly earrings that she was wearing on her dinner date with Jason.
Yep, and that updo, that half updo.
Half updo. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know what she says, does, blah, 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 but it seems like she was talking about Jason in this moment.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, no surprise, he's obviously the next person to go home,
he's gotta go.
He's gotta go.
Yeah.
He's definitely going home, but I would love to see what kind of goes down in this moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that was the episode.
That's it. Do you have any other future predictions?
Any future predictions? Blake wins.
Nice.
He must win.
Okay.
He has to win.
Yeah, no, he has to win.
Because I cannot watch Garrett win this. I mean, Jason's obviously going home. When she says, I feel like I did to him what Ari did to me, maybe she says a little bit too much to Jason about her feelings.
Oh, maybe, yeah. And she's like, well, Blake is, Yeah.
I don't think she says to him her feelings for Blake. I think she maybe gets caught up in a moment and says, not I love you, but like gives him some reassurance that he maybe doesn't deserve, and then she regrets it later because she knows she has to send him home.
Okay.
And so I feel like maybe in that moment she's feeling like a flip-flopper, like Ari, and feels super bad about it.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Okay.
What do you think?
My prediction is that Blake, you have got to put it down in this fantasy suite, my brother.
Ooh, you gotta
listen. I want to know that the neighbors call 311. Okay, we have got to do this. You got to pull it for the team. This is the
Battle
same.
Of the fantasy suites.
This is the same kind of Super Bowl mentality that Natasha and I had during Rachel's hometown when it was Peter versus Brian.
Yeah, that's true.
We were like, Peter, you got to pull through for the. Blake, you have got to pull through. All 6'5" of you. You've got to come on.
Yes. Ooh, say that height one more time. A little foreshadowing, if you know what I mean.
Hello. Good morning. So yeah,
that's true. Blake, you gotta bring it on home for us.
Yeah.
Next week, Fantasy Suites, Battle of the Day. Let's see who brings it home. That's the episode, guys. This shit is long as fuck. We gotta get the hell up out of here. Yes. Hit us up on Twitter, the number 2 BLK Girls, number 1 Rose.
And email us at the number 2 Black Girls, the number 1 Rose @gmail.com.
And yep, that's it. Next week we'll be here, and we'll be here with our winner of the contest.
Yep.
That'll be fun.
Yep.
So until then, bye everybody.
Bye.